Welcome back, friends and colleagues. My name is Robert Doman, and in this video we're going to be looking at the game Fallen Crown. And it's a game made in GB Studio, or it's being made in GB Studio. It's been in development for years now, and it had a Kickstarter, a very successful Kickstarter. And I want to play the demo because I want to make a metroidvania, and I basically want to see what somebody else has been able to do inside GB Studio. So I've got the demo here, and I'm going to be playing on an emulator. So let's see how it goes. Now, I've never played this before, so I don't know what to expect. I saw from the marketing materials that it's a bit of a metroidvania. It's Castlevania mixed with Super Mario, maybe. So I've got my controller, and I've also got a pen and paper here, and I'm going to take notes on anything that I think is important. So let's begin. Now, new game. Select a save slot. Number 1. This UI is beautiful. In distant land of Ravensfall, there stands an ancient tower. Its dark, forbidding visage stains the horizon. Some say that death itself guards the treasures. That's where you come in. Too fast for me to talk and read, but absolutely beautiful. Look at this. How do we jump? Can't jump. Bingo. You're just like the rest of them. Shambling corpses drawn to that cursed tower. No memory of their past, no hope for the future. Interesting. I might skip past most of this app because what I really care about is the gameplay. And although this artwork is absolutely beautiful, and if you were to make a game of any caliber, you would want to match this beauty. I think that the gameplay is where most people will be spending their time. Though this is extremely important to make sure that they are in touch with the world, right? And that they understand the world. So I'd say absolutely beautiful artwork. And I think the settings I've put the emulator on help. I like this concept that we're just this floating head, or like rolling head. Beautiful stuff. Animated backgrounds, interesting colors. I'm writing this down. You want that shiny dagger? Well, can't even get up there. What am I supposed to do? Of course. Go the other way. Should have thought to do that from the very start. You should rest. This setup is masterful. Okay, now we can jump higher. We have legs and arms. We've been given legs and arms, guys. Ooh. I'm just kidding. I can't feel a thing. Where did you come from? Where is the rest of you? Poor sod. I can see why you want that dagger. Tell you what. I had a priceless family heirloom nearby. Problem is, can't remember what it is or where I put it. Oh yeah, you might need this. A key. Small keys are single-use items. Press start. Okay, let's have a look in our backpack. Okay, we just got one key right now. Lovely. Warning, do not jump while facing down. You will fall through wooden platforms. Let's do it anyway. And we can push boxes. Lovely. That's what GB Studio is great for. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can actually make that jump. And it required a hop rather than a jump. Well, this looks like it, right? Use key. Congratulations, you got a dead rodent or a hairball. Whatever it is, you're certain it's not treasure. Well, it might be to him. I can go back and give it to him. Okay, that was embarrassing. Oh, this artwork is beautiful. I think seeing artwork like this displayed with like this shader where it's meant to look like an old console does it justice, right? This looks absolutely incredible. Let's see where I load at. Okay, so I have to talk to that dude again. A bit annoying. Does that mean I don't have to bother going down that hole? Should I just go and do it? No, he gives me a key. I want to get to the metroidvania parts. The bits that you unlock areas. Actually, technically we already did that. We couldn't jump very high to begin. Now we can jump a bit higher. I imagine we have to have a sword to break that. That's fine. I imagine when I make one of these, like a metroidvania, it will be somewhat linear. Like I imagine this is somewhat linear, and even any other Metroidvania is technically linear, but there are multiple lines, right? If that makes any sense. Like if you were to really draw the flowchart out, it can't be nebulously huge. You know, it has to be somewhat controlled, and I imagine this will be too. Unfortunately, I don't get to make a better decision. I have to go through this again, even though I died. So let's see if I can figure it out. I guess I do have to give this to him, right? Like this is his special present, or whatever he said, his treasure. Oh God, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna even be able to do it. I wish there was a prompt to, you know, remind you what button to press to interact, because things don't look very interactable. You found it, my beautiful hair. At long last, we are reunited. Hilarious, yes, he's got hair. Do you like it? Surely I should be able to say yes or no. You can get the dagger now. I don't need it anymore. Scout's cowl. You can now change to the scout job class. To access your gear directly, hold the up on the D-pad, then press start. Okay, you can also you also found 2 flasks. Press select while holding down on the D-pad to restore your health to full. Or press select while holding up to restore energy. Your flasks can be restored when you rest at a shrine. Well, how about we go rest at the shrine so we don't have to spend anything. Save and rest. There we go. Back to business. What can we do now? We can now attack, so let's go and break this. Ooh, this attack animation is pretty cool. Though it just has 3. Ah, there's something about these drops that I don't like. Bingo! Got through. Okay. I'm not really vibing with this right now. I feel like the movement has... What? Just as I talk about the movement, I accidentally do something that I didn't know I could do. Was I told I could do that before? I can roll, I can dodge roll. Because that's pretty cool. Ooh, that looks dangerous. Is he talking, or is he going to have to kill him? Oh, visitor, it's been ages. My name is Dante, gravedigger and self-appointed director of safety. Say, have you seen a rat anywhere around here? Cheese. She might run off when she sees you. Just set down the cheese in front of her and give her some space. If you can get on her good side, she might even prove useful. Well, let's keep going and see if this picks up. I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I think if I was to make a note on this, it would be to make enemies clearly stand out. I mean, I can see that one now. A map for the ancient cave. So look. Very nice. What a map. I think I need to restore my health. How do I do that again? Up and select? No? Down and select? There we go. Right now, I don't really know why I'm... You know, what I'm doing, where I'm going, why. And it's kind of killing my motivation. Obviously I have that one mission to find the... Oh! Accidentally shot the bat. Yeah, I have a mission of collecting or finding the mouse for with the cheese. But I'm not sure what other reason I have, you know? Examine cheese. Yeah, that's what I know. What's my mission? What's my goal? In the whole idea in the beginning was I didn't have a goal or a mission. I'm just trying to find who I was. And currently I'm not too interested. Which is actually a pretty good learning opportunity for me here. Like, I feel like I would have made... If I hadn't have thought about this, I would have just blindly gone in and made a game where you just explore a random world for no apparent reason. But that isn't necessarily that fun. If I really... And although the artwork is beautiful, I've gotten used to it now. And instead I'm focusing on the movement mechanics, which I feel like the player doesn't have enough snap to him. They don't move around quite quick enough, or they don't react to my movement left or right quick enough, which is kind of frustrating. This guy's chatting to me. Yeah, I genuinely feel like the movement isn't satisfying enough. You see how when we try and change direction, it's like it fully stops and whatever. It feels very heavy. Yeah, and then jumping, you fall very quickly, and not necessarily too satisfying to even play, unfortunately. For me, anyway. And I'm imagining it gets better because there are other classes and there's other reasons to worry and care. But right now, I'm just feeling it out as it is. Let's try and kill this thing. Ooh, good. I'm just going to push through till I find something good. Go away, buddy. Let's try and revive myself. Do I have a heart? Nope. I'm gonna be dead soon. Better be a heart in here. Nope. Interesting. I'm just gonna have to run away because I know I'm not good enough. Bat can go away. What did I achieve by doing that? I guess I made it easier to access if I die. But does the world stay the same if I die? That would be cool if it did. That's an interesting idea. Might write that down. Ooh, that is trying to kill me. That sign. Warning, elevators under maintenance. If only I could find that blasted gear, was it? I guess some GB Studio sprite issues here. Do I jump up? I'm going to die. Or not. I'm so close to death. There's spikes. Okay. We need to find a shrine, otherwise I'm going to have to play this whole thing again. Let's go up here. There we go, that's one. For a price, I still don't know what that means. Okay, I'm going to die very shortly. Am I cheating? Ooh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, that artwork though, that is a beautiful piece of artwork that I'm almost glad to see, you know? Reload your last save. Yes. Okay, that resume and reload. I guess that makes sense, but I didn't want to come back here, right? It's a shame I haven't enjoyed this so much, but I feel like it has provided me with some initial feelings that I would be able to address if I was to make a similar game. I guess I'll leave it there because I cannot bring myself to go through that again. Not on video. Maybe if I go away and play it and then bring you guys up to speed in a different video and we can talk about it again. And right now, all I want to see is that beautiful game over screen. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to keep that on screen as I talk to you about what I wrote down. So before I go over my notes, just take everything I say with a grain of salt because I didn't play the whole thing. This is a demo, and we all have our own opinions, right? And I'm playing this because I want to make a game, and this game isn't the game I want to make, right? So I'm learning from it. So take everything I say beyond here with a grain of salt. And the first point I have here is that it's absolutely beautiful artwork. Like, it's stunning. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. And it might be that the emulator I'm using and the shaders I've put it in make it look that good, but we can have a quick try, I guess. Okay, so this is just pixelated. So this is the raw pixels, and it's still absolutely beautiful. So I would say that the artwork of this game is incredible. And me putting it into this shader is just the cherry on top, really. I think if we were to play it on Game Boy Color, it might look more like this, where it's muted colors and you can see the squares a bit better. Obviously, it'd be tiny compared to how you might be viewing this if you're viewing this on your TV, 60-inch, right? But it's still beautiful. I think some of the vibrancy of the colors is lost, and therefore some of the beauty is lost. Because I changed the setting from modern to classic. Yeah, I put it on default. Now it's back on modern. The colors are full again. It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, the thing that pulled me into this game originally was the artwork and the professionalism of the game, presentation that brought me in. I think that the intro, the load, what we went through in the beginning was absolutely beautiful. That's like art, but with more, right? The idea that we had animated backgrounds and everything, and it was just fully fleshed out and thought about. It set up the character, why they're that size, what their intentions are. Just, but not fully. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. But I think as well, the dungeony vibe doesn't really hit me. I don't really care too much about the dungeony vibe. I'd have liked to explore something that felt more like it'd been created by somebody, like in the sense that the world we're in, like somebody had been there before us and had made this. With it had the draw gates and the elevators, it got a bit more interesting in my opinion, but it still felt like it was random, like we're just in a hole in the ground, we're in the caves, and that necessarily didn't fill me with the sense that the world is worth being in or living in, right? Or lived in. And I think that the characters felt a bit out of place. It felt like I was going to get a boss fight with that Gravedigger guy, which I would have loved. That would have been a fun challenge to see how the game would have tackled that. And then the guy who took away the bridge and we just went back and turned it back around. It just feels like I don't know what I feel. It just felt like the game was a bit strange. But the artwork and the animated backgrounds led me into it, right? It led me into it perfectly. It was diverse colors, right? In the beginning, it was absolutely beautiful with the dripping and the everything. At that point, it felt like the world was worth exploring. But then when it didn't evolve or change, right? Then it kind of, I don't know. I wanted more quicker, which might be my problem, not the game. And I'm sure other people would be able to put up with it. And it may be because I was doing it for this video and I was looking for metroidvania things, when metroidvania things probably take time to evolve. We did feel them quite quickly, how we were rolling, which I loved, and then we got our little legs and were able to jump. So yeah, we got there eventually. Just I would like to see the whole move set, Some ideas that I got from it that may or may not have existed was the idea that the world stays the same if you die. So the game I'm thinking of making will be a Metroidvania, but maybe more with RPG battle mechanics. So the idea that we're doing like Pokemon battles rather than real-time combat, because the real-time combat here was kind of frustrating in my opinion. Maybe I'm just not good enough, skill issue, whatever. But the movement, it didn't feel satisfying. And that might change later down the line, but I wanted it to be satisfying as soon as I start playing, right? And I got quite frustrated with some of the jumps, I don't know how close I got to the end. I imagine I was nowhere near close to the end. It just felt like I'd only just touched the surface, really. So it would be interesting to know how far along I was and how, when I found it difficult, if anything, the difficulty is perfect for the Game Boy, right? Like, you want a very difficult game that you can replay and that isn't necessarily too long. It's actually kind of a perfect game. However, yeah, the game I'm making, I want to make it be a Metroidvania with RPG battles rather than real-time combat battles, and then roguelike elements on top, where once you die, you go right back to the start, but you choose a different character, and the world, I've just realized, can stay the same, right? If you die, your stuff stays in that spot, which is a classic game trope. And maybe stuff you've collected along the way and you've affected the world makes it quicker to get back to where you just were, right? If you've unlocked doors, those doors are unlocked. If you've killed people, those people are dead. Maybe that would make the world feel a bit dead. However, with that in mind, you could design it so it doesn't, right? The last thing on the list needs tighter controls. We talked about that, right? Like, the game could be better than this later down the line once we get more skills, just like how we picked up the cowl and got our legs, right? We were able to change the gameplay, but it was just a shame it didn't feel better from the start. So this isn't necessarily a review. I am just trying to, as a developer, learn from this and think about making my own kind of game like this. So overall, don't take my opinion as gospel here, because I personally didn't enjoy the game, but I can see why it would be a really good game. It's got absolutely beautiful art. It's clearly leading somewhere. There are multiple classes, and I only got to one, right? I was literally just almost playing the tutorial, and I was just, because I was recording the video, was too unfocused. Didn't want to spend the time to have to redo everything whenever I die, right? But in reality, dying is a learning opportunity that the player should experience. So just to recap, absolutely beautiful artwork, beautiful animations leading into the game, diverse colors for the background, animated backgrounds just make the game worth playing, right? If you start a game like that, you know the developer has fully cared about the entire experience. However, I'd say it needs tighter controls so that it's less frustrating. I think some of the level design could be a bit smoother to help the player not hit the head and then fall into spikes, you know, as I did in a few spots. But maybe that's the choice, to teach the player to tap the jump button and not to hold it down every single time. So that might be a design decision that they've actively thought about, and I'm just frustrated that I had to experience it to learn. Yeah, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm definitely taking some good stuff from this. The idea that the world can stay the same if you die, I think is a really fun idea. I think that game Minute, that 1-bit game where you have 1 minute to live in the world, affect it, then you respawn back to the beginning, and then it helps you get further and further. I think that's, in a way, without the time limit, what I want to kind of call upon in my game idea, now that I've really thought about it. Or at least that's worth exploring in a prototype. So I have to thank Fallen Crown for this. I hope you go and check out Fallen Crown. It's still in development. I believe it had a Kickstarter a while ago. But yeah, if you want to see more Let's Plays, let me know what you'd like to see me play. And I'll put my patrons up on screen right now. Thank you so much to you guys. You guys absolute best. Remember to like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. What game genres should I check out next time? What do you think of me playing this? Obviously I wasn't very good. Didn't get very far. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.